I'm looking forward to trying the stand-up wheel at some point.
Yeah, so
back
much fun.
in January. Yeah, I haven't ever done that.
I've got the extensions for mine to put mine on.
If I'm not careful if I use it.
Doesn't hurt. Only when I'm awake.
It'll be another week.
Yeah,
I
I want
get
like
it.
a
Just a few days?
herniated disc, and like I can't do it anymore. I can't.
I can't do that.
But I think it's
If I lift or turn.
Well, I'll be standing eventually.
yeah,
You find out what your tendons are
We
doing.
hope you'll still be standing.
yeah.
You're one of those, I have my foot on the pedal the whole time people.
Yeah, you gotta adjust.
Stands well, he does.
Yeah, you stand. I just struggle with that because I like want to ground and then I feel like I want to move my foot too much or something. I adjust it, but it's like
I've actually been trying to not keep my foot on the pedal the whole time
why?
because I don't think it's like ergonomically a good idea. Yeah, to be like this is not the best way to go.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Is that-
yeah,
Is that your wheel?
no, this is just one of the shop wheels that they
Ivy's extensions.
yeah Ivy's extensions. You should patent this.
Or did you do this? Put your
I just
stand?
brought the cinder blocks. I just have a lot outside of my house right now.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Cool.
It feels like you would have more control here versus.
I argue it's less control. I threw with my students on this a few times, and it's just like you can't ground
can't
into
brace-
like your hips
can't
as
brace
well.
your-
You're more bracing like kind of against your
Yeah.
ribs,
For sure.
and it's just a little bit harder to like
Go up. Yeah.
stay centered. But I think it's just practice, like building different muscle groups.
Like anything, right?
So it looks like you have a special bat that has the interior can come out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got these inserts so that if I'm just throwing a lot of mugs or whatever, I can just like
Oh.
pull them off and not have to.
Most importantly, he's got that chamois underneath the bat. I think that's the clutch move.
Yeah.
Underneath the big bat, he's got a chamois thing that really like grips it. I don't know if you've ever been pulling and it like pops off the wheel or something, or like jitters a little bit.
Yeah. No, it's huge. It really keeps it like I have taken this thing off, just put the inserts on the chamois, and it doesn't like if you push it down, you can like do stuff and not have it move around too much. It's crazy. So when I throw,
Because I threw on this wheel and it was like rockety. And I was like, how are you
really?
throwing? Yeah, because I didn't have the chamois.
you could have borrowed it. It was sitting right there. You're like, what is this?
Yeah, I was like, how are you doing this?
Tractor Supply. They get a big bag of them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I know it's some like stupid thing I got. It's one of those like products that should be like $2 and they're $20, but you still don't care because
You need it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's like that
did you
micro-
start off with this and then you started making your own inserts, or do you just buy them from the company that makes that product for the wheel?
No, I made these inserts.
Okay.
Yeah, I
'Cause-
was working at a sign shop, and before
so
I
you had
quit,
that, yeah.
I like went and made a bunch of stuff. This is one of the things that I made because these are expensive.
I know
these
you
are like
can buy
$5 each.
I know you
They're
can buy them, but
insane.
they're
Yeah.
insanely expensive.
I mean,
yeah.
the whole the 4x8 sheet is $20. I'm like, how are they getting away with this? But they're a lot of work because they do have to be like
They have to be
perfectly
exact,
square.
yeah.
you had the right machinery to cut it.
So you have a lot more of the inside pieces than the outside because you just keep the outside ring and add.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, these are like 6 inches, and then I have ones that are 5 inches, and that's like a pretty standard size.
Okay.
Yep. There you go.
Cool.
So
You
it's
have
just like
trouble with
mason.
warping ever?
Sometimes. So if I have trouble with warping, I'll like soak them and then
Like press on or something.
no, just soak them in water and then leave them with the bowed side, like leave them opposite like that. Yeah, because you can see that one's kind of bowed
Yeah,
a
I
little
see
bit
that.
too.
Oh, you'd leave it like that and it would go down.
Yep. Okay, so I've got a mug. I'm super cautious about making the sides straight. That's been something that's been like tricky, because if it's curved at all in any way, you'll start to get those wrinkles. So I'm really cautious about making it straight. And when I'm in a rush, it doesn't always work. And I have a lot of mugs that have little creases in them because it wasn't like that. But so I've got my mug, straight sides. I've got this piece that I want to use. So this is, I've been writing yes on the back of them because
It's really affirming every time I go by. I'm like,
So I was doing this to be like, so that I knew when the yes was on the outside, that was the right side to be on the outside. What I didn't realize is that
It comes out.
is that the Sharpie adheres to the underglaze enough that I was like peeling the paper back when I could peel the paper back. And it was taking, I mean, all of a sudden I had a yes on some of my mugs.
I liked it.
I mean, it's kind of fun.
Does it burn
Yeah.
off?
No,
No,
it
it's
doesn't burn
there.
out.
It says yes.
The ink from the Sharpie
Hey,
has
what's
enough
going on?
iron in it that it actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. Good to see you. Nice surprise.
Yeah,
All right, okay. So I've got my glaze side on this, my underglaze side on this side. And I'm gonna, this is another thing that it's taken me a while to figure out, is I put it on a sponge and I put my yes side up, right? So that means my underglaze side is down, and I just wet the back. So this is essentially the back of it. And I'm gonna leave that for just a minute. And that's all I do. I use a sponge just because if any water gets underneath it, it's got something to soak up. So this image isn't like sitting in the standing water and getting like really soft. I want the paper to be soft. I want the image to be malleable enough that I can put it on here, but I don't want it to start slaking down, and like for that image to start moving around too much. So then all I do is spray enough on the outside, spray a ton of water. I'm going to move kind of fast at this point, and then I'll put it sort of like here. I'll come over to this side. Get one kind of corner or one part of that middle down, and then it just kind of lays in. If I've done it well and I've made a nice straight sided pot, then it'll just kind of lay in there. And that water, it's that water is kind of really adhering that image of the.
Yeah, it just sucks it in.
Just like,
Just like
yep. So I'll do that, and then I take my red rib. I've got my favorite red rib for this exact purpose. It's my favorite one, and I just go along there and I lightly press it in. And this is where I will find out real fast if I've oversaturated this, because I'll start to get white streaks coming across here, which isn't like the worst thing in the world, but it means that my image is going to be a little bit distorted. So that's how I do it on the.
You don't worry about the red clay that now that's dripping down on top of the image, because you'll pull the paper back and it'll come with that.
Yeah. Or with these, I've just been like leaving them in the kiln. The kilns, and it's been burning off. The paper's been burning off, and everything on the outside of the paper is just dust.
Totally, nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll set that aside.
So you let it soak up before
How
you
amazing.
attempt to take off the paper, or do you just not even take off the paper anymore?
I don't even worry about taking off the paper. I mean, so I've got one that I did here yesterday. It's like a cooking show. In a few hours. And I think like if this is the Korea paper, I might be able to get it off. Yeah, this is okay. So yeah, if I can get it off, I will. But like you can see, like it just tears. Which isn't like,
Paper, yeah.
yeah. I mean, someday I'll find like the perfect paper.
That is the Korean paper, though.
I think this is probably the Korean paper because none of the other stuff does this. None of my other $20 packets from Amazon do this. So yeah, if I can get it off, and then I've always thought this would be like a fun time to like do some sgraffito work. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot you could do at this stage now. Like you could do sgraffito. Let it dry a little bit. You can do another transfer right on top of it. There's a lot that can be done.
Do you know where you bought it in Korea?
I bought it in Seoul.
In a shop.
In a shop.
On a street.
I bet I could. Yeah.
Could you find the street again?
I bet I could find it. I bet I could find it again because it was near Palace.
Palace.
I don't know.
The reason I ask, I have a neighbor who's moving back there.
Really?
Maybe we could ask him for it.
Man, that would be amazing. Just go buy me all the stacks of paper.
I mean, if you knew how to find it and then just ship it back.
Yeah, that would be.
Google Street View.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah,
that would
that's
probably
where it came
work.
from, the name.
Yeah, actually,
Business
that would.
card.
I've got the. Maybe I'll send you on a wild goose chase because I've got the
Like a brand.
like the outside of the paper, like the package that it came in. So it doesn't have a name on it. It's just beautiful like gold leaf paper. But I don't know. Maybe they could find it, or they could tell me what it is and where.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, because he's Korean, so he could
yeah,
dialogue, and he's not going till, I think, 1st of February. So,
really.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
Bingo.
we'll talk.
We're trying.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So
So,
that
but with you, when you do take the paper off, you always let it get to that leather hard phase.
to take the
To
paper
take
off.
The paper off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you take it off, if you try to take it off any sooner,
Yeah.
some of it'll come off and then
Yeah.
it won't. And you'll know right away if it's gonna work or not. Because like you'll see it come off and the image will be very clear, Yeah.
Well, what's amazing is thank you so much already just for you've spent all this time perfecting this and still working on it and sharing it with us. It's like really amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I love sharing this stuff. I mean, it's like something I've been thinking around with and
I love it. It's so cool.
I feel like I feel like I do the one thing with it, but there's a lot more possibilities with this process, Yeah. I can show you guys how to apply it to like a bisque pot and then maybe like a leather heart pot if you guys are interested in that.
Sure.
And then I'll show you how I do handles and then